Hello friends, this is Ganesh and the video number 3. In this video, I'm going to explain how to skip some functionalities and some useful debugging tools. Okay, so skip lines is nothing but I have some lines, I don't want to execute it. I simply want to skip those lines. How to do that? And I want to jump from line number 10 to line number 100 without executing the lines between target and source. Or I want to do the same jump by executing all the lines between the target and source. Okay, so that is the idea of skipping lines or not skipping lines and executing it. And then very useful tools in the debugging mode. Okay, so let's get into the system. I have already coded all the programs because it's for time consuming. I don't want to explain what I'm doing. So that's why my programs are ready. I'm going to start the explanation. So there are two functionalities you need to understand as go to statement and continue to cursor. Okay, especially both functionalities go to statement and continue to cursor will do the skip lines, means it will skip the lines and it will jump directly to the target of your lines. For example, from 10th to 100th line I want to jump. Yes, you can do it through continue to cursor and go to statement, but there are two different functionalities. Okay, let we understand what is the functionality of those two options with the simple program. Then we can try to use the same in the future sessions or future videos as well. Okay, one simple example before going to that. One simple example is I have two scenarios. The first scenario is working as expected and second scenario is not working as expected. So what I'm going to do was in a debugging, I have a doubt on one of the processing block. Let's take a function module. So for scenario 1, I'm executing the function module. It's working fine. And scenario 2, I'm going to skip the functionality of the function module, meaning I'm not going to execute whatever the lines inside the function model. I want to skip that. Okay, I want to see whether this is the function model which caused the error for my scenario 2. So I'm going to skip the entire function module code and it's going to jump out after the function module. Okay, there is a simple example. Normally we use a go to statement. These kind of scenarios. Scenario 1 is working, scenario 2 is not working. So we have to just check it. Now I'm going to keep a session breakpoint. Here it is. The line number 10, I have a breakpoint. I'm going to execute. And this program, a simple program which has only one variable and there are 3 lines, I'm just changing the variable value. So 10th line, I'm passing the value as 10 and 12th, I'm adding 20 to the result and 14th, I'm adding the result into double. Okay, 30 and 30. So that's why I'm going to do it. Now, let me execute this fully without going to that particular go to statement or continue to cursor. I want to show you what is the result. It's 60. Okay, so let me go back to the program and execute it again. So the functionality, whatever I'm talking about, is available in the menu called Debugger, and the functionality is continue to cursor, and the another functionality is go to statement. Okay, both will do the skip operation, meaning just jump from source to target lines. Okay, but they have two different functionalities. First, I'm going to talk about go to statement. I want to keep or I want to pass the cursor from 10th line to 16th line. Let me double click so you can see the what is the value currently. It's 0 because it's not executed the 10th line, right? The cursor is in 10th line. So I'm going to keep the cursor in my right statement 16th and I'm going to use the option called debugger go to statement. Make sure the cursor is in the particular line where you want to transfer the control. Go to statement. Yes, it comes in 16th line, still the value is 0. So the functionality of go to statement is it is transfer the cursor from one line to another line, but it won't execute the lines in between. Okay, it won't execute the lines in between your source and target lines. Simply it jumps the cursor from one line to another line and it won't execute it. So this is the functionality of go to statement. So the same functionality I'm going to do for continue to cursor. Let me show you that again. with continue to cursor option. So I'm going to keep the cursor in 16th line. Let me double click, close the stack window. It's not useful as of now. So keep the cursor, it's moved again. Keep the cursor here and select debugger, sorry, continue to cursor. So it jumps from 10 to 16, but it executes all the lines in between from your source and target lines. So that is the use of go to statement and it continue to cursor. So there are two functionalities. It depends on your requirement or business requirement or your debugging need. You can use it. So mostly we use go to statement. Okay. So one more thing I'll show you. Let me execute again. So another interesting factors between these two, go to statement and continue to cursor. The go to statement will take you to previous lines as well. Okay, so what happened? Okay, I didn't click execute button. So execute, debugging starts, F6 or F5, whatever it is. Now the cursor is in 14th line. Now I want to go back to the line number 10. So in that case, you have to use go to statement, or for this scenario, only go to statement will work. Continue to cursor is not going to work. Continue cursor is going to only in the forward direction. So if you click go to statement, the cursor again go back to line number 10. And if you execute, obviously your output will change. The maximum output what we have seen is only 60. Okay, it's not changing because again start from scratch. So number is 10 and 30 and again it's 60. Okay, so that is one beautiful option of go to statement, but you have some restrictions while accessing in the debugging. You come to know there are some restriction to jump. Okay, so it's not going to jump from suppose the step number 12 and the step number 3 is from a previous program or previous function model. You can try to jump over there. No, it's not able to jump. Okay, so there are a few restrictions, so I can't list out everything over here. So once you start learning the debugging with go to statement, you come to know. Okay, so the idea is there are few restrictions. So go to cursor is going in the forward, and continue to cursor is going in the forward direction, and go to statement is either forward or backward, but it has some restrictions as well. Okay, so let me take the next program which has few functionalities. I will show you the same go to statement over there as well. Okay, so that is a program. It has a do 100 times, and this is on BAPI which reads the plan data. So keep the cursor means breakpoint, F8. So here I'm going to use go to statement, not continue. Continue cursor, we just come to know what is the use of that. So now LV count is 0. If I use go to statement to the right statement, what happens? It won't execute the line from 10 to 19. Okay, so I'm going to use a go to statement. So keep the cursor in right, go to statement over here. See, if you see the count is 0, and if you see the data of WA plan data or carrier as empty because it's not executed. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a backwards. So now go here, debugger, go to statement. So from 21st to 10th line it transferred. Now keep the cursor in 21st. I'm going to use continue to cursor. It will execute everything. Okay, so it executes, the count is 100, and just WA plant, if you see inside, it gets filled. Okay, so this is a use of go to statement. Mostly we use go to statement rather than continue to cursor. Okay, so maybe after getting some sessions, I will use the same go to statement in a different perspective, and I'll explain the same as well. Okay, so the next is we are going to see about tools. So for that I have a different program. This is the output of the right statement. So let me get that program. So this needs some data. It's a debugging file, very simple. I think I enabled the option. Okay, let me just go into the program first. Okay, so here I have an internal table. with purchase information details. So this is just for explanation. So that's why I use select star, and I'm getting only 100 rows. And I have a loop. I'm using the modify option over here. So normally don't use modify inside the loop. You have to use field symbols. But few of the people not aware of field symbols. So that's why I used a traditional way of modifying the internal table. Okay. So let me have the breakpoint, session breakpoint, and execute it. So once it comes to a debugging mode, so this tools are awesome, is going to be used very useful in your debugging session. So let me close again, don't close this. Okay, let's double click. So this is my internal table. Currently it has 0 records and it has 160 columns. Okay, I'm going to press F5 and it will take only 100 records because my code is allowed to fetch only 100 records. So just double click over here. You can see the data. Okay, this is the data. Just double click, you are able to see the data. Might be you may aware there is a medium to hold the data. The medium can be a variable to hold one value. The medium can be work area, one record, and the medium can be a body of an internal table, more than one record. Okay, so if you double click any medium, you are able to see the content of the particular medium. So just double click, it will take you to the tab called tables as well. If it is a work area, take the tab called structures. Okay, so now I'm going to show the option called tools, service tools in a debugging mode. Okay, so the service tools options or differ between your windows. I can project, this is one window and this is my source code window, this is my variable window, and I have one more window called stack window. Okay, so you have different windows, so the tools also might differ between your windows. For example, I'm going to click wherever you can see this icon is called service tools or tools in a debugging mode. Just click, you can see the options called tool specific, position to the current statement, go to source code. These are the options are available. Okay, we'll see the options one by one in a different session, not here. I'm going to explain only about the tools. Just close this. Okay, and if I click this tools over here, it will show a different options. Is it not showing go to statement because that is not applicable over here? It shows a different one. How to sort the variables and display the complex return values in a auto tab tool. So save parameters as a test data. Suppose I have a function module. I want to save this particular debugging value into the function module as a test directory. Okay, so that is also possible over here. Just close this, and if I open a stack, actually I close the stack. If you open any of the windows, so just click here, new tool. I want to open a new tool. I want to open a call stack. So call stack is over here. If I click the tools over here, it's a different options. So save to local file, search, find next, abap screen, or you want a screen, or you want to both call like abap stack and screen stack. So these are very specific information about the tools. Okay, so this is the initial stage of the tool, how to open a tools or how to open the options for the particular editor or a window, whatever you call it as. So here I have three windows: source code window and variables window and stack window. Okay, now we'll go little further about the tools which is available in the variables. Okay, I'll show you, because I'll show you this as well little later. Now what I'm going to do is just double click. Okay, if I double click, what happens, it will take me to the another tab called tables, as well as the different editor or different tool or different window. If I open this one, it will show you different options because this is a different window. So here it will say save in a file or column. These are very important: delete selected rows, append row, insert row, delete the whole table. So those informations are available. Might be few options are common between the windows, otherwise mostly specific. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain this particular tool. It's very useful, especially you are handling more records in a debugging row. Okay, in a debugging method. So I'm going to explain about that tools. So just double click. So here I'm going to use few informations or few options in the tools. Just click and it will show you you want to display the data in the ALV format. Okay, so this is the internal table data. 100 records. As I mentioned, I return only 100 records to fetch. So I want to display this in a ALV because here the filter and those options are little difficult. Okay, so you have to go one by one or page up, page down. It's very difficult to see all the data in one time. So what I can do is I'm going to select an option called, okay, I want to display this in a table as a ALV. It will show you your debugging content, not the output, the particular internal table content in a ALE format. And you can apply a filter. For example, this one, I want to see the data only 10. Select it, go to filter. This is same like ALV. So there is no much difference. Just click 10. It will show me only the particular data, and in that particular data I just come to know, okay, my issue or findings start from the line number 40, index is 40, that's why they mentioned index as well. So I want to start my debugging, or I want to show, I want to see that the entire data of the line number 40. So what I can do is I can go, or you can start from, so 40 to 50 is my issue, or the index 40, 70, 75 is the issue. So go back, I want to go to line number 40. You don't want to page up, go to the tools, excuse me, go to the row and click 40. It just take you to the row 40. Okay, so now the another the best example or options in the tool is you can download it. Okay, my data is very huge, I'm not comfortable with ALV, I want to explain or I want to find out through Excel, so that is more comfortable, right? So what I can do is I'm using the option called save in a file. So go here, 1 to 100, it's same as a spreadsheet. You have an option, you want all the records or you want only 20 records, 40 records, so you can do it. Here it's only 100, I go with 100, just continue. Okay, it will ask what is a file name you want. I just go with iTab desktop, just click save. Okay, and click allow. It's done. So now I need to go to my desktop. So here iTab, open the iTab, means the Excel file. So I say yes, different format, I'm good with that. So here, one second, okay, just close it. So this is the data, 100 records. Now I'm, after my analysis, I can say, okay, first 20 records is not required, just delete. So 21, first is a header, I'm going to delete it. Okay, and you can see the count is comes to 80, it's not 100, it has only 80 records. Now I'm going to upload this to my debugging. Remove the header as well, that is very important. Remove the header, save it, it's a different format, yes, I'm good with that. So now I'm going to upload this 80. For example, now for a sample I say first 20, suppose after a lot of R&D, so out of 100 you need only 25 records. Okay, so keep the 25 alive in your Excel and remove the header. I'm going to upload this into my debugging mode and continue my debugging. So for that I'm going to use a option in the tools called upload from file. Okay, so now you can see, one second, cancel. Yes, so here you have see 100 records. After upload it will be 80, meaning it will override the content, it's not going to append it. Okay, it's going to override the entire content and fill with the content which from your Excel file. So here, upload from file, it says the table content will be fully replaced in columns in the file and must match the system structure of the table exactly. So if not, you will get an error. Okay, error in the sense it won't load the data in your debugging mode. I can say yes, I want to do it and select the file, iTab, open. So now it's going, yes, hello, please proceed further. So now it says source table had fewer columns than the target table. So now you can see the count of your internal table is 80. Okay, this is one best option because analyzing inside the debugging mode internal table data is a little difficult if the data is huge. So either go with the ALV or download it to the Excel, do it, and once if you just modify the data and upload the content to the debugging mode, then start working on your debugging process in the rest of the program. Okay, so that is one useful or good option in the tools. You have lot options, a lot more options are available. Okay, so we'll go one by one. I want to dump everything in one session. And the next options are another options is like I want some fields to be at the first. Okay, so a lot of fields, maybe in the 20th field or 30th field, every time I have to move the cursor and come back, or I want to change the columns, same like ALV layout. So best or simple option is, for example, I want listener to be the first column. So what I can do is, you have an option called insert column. You can say listener, enter. So listener is your first column. Okay, okay, I want let me take, okay, BSTYP. I want BSTYP is my second, means the another first column. Yes, it's keep on moving it. Or I want to shuffle the layout, so you can do a columns. It's same, it's, you know about it. Okay, so now what is the column name you want to be mentioned? So I want the Z term. There are option you want to move one by one, or you want to move everything all the way up. Okay, so the Z term is now first, so execute it. Now the Z term comes first. Okay, and here this is about all about the columns. So everything here you can see all about columns. So here maximum it shows only 51. There are restrictions over here. So if you want to see 52, 53, you have to go this, and all the way the last column you have to click this one. Okay, or if you know some columns, okay, I want to start from 15th column for my debugging analysis, just click this, then it will show you from 15. So 15 is the spare. So from 15 to 65 it shows. So total you have 160 columns. Okay, so this is very much useful, the tools, or you can just switch the columns, and it's useful if you have 100 columns. These options are more useful. So once you start debugging, make use of these options. Okay, and the another one which I show you is the loop and the modify. So how the data flow is happening. So the cursor is intent, and I'm just changing the value of my inco 1 and term, inco terms 1 and 2. So just click and click this, let me F5. So cursor is not transferred. So little technical. Hopefully most of the people are aware of this. I'm moving the content from my internal table to work area line by line, record by record, because work area can have only one record at a time. So my target is having some restrictions, so I can't move bulk. So one by one. So if I press F5 from line number 10, it takes the first record from my body of an internal table. So whatever we have seen is my body of the internal table, more than one record, and it's moving to the work area called WPO details. So actually it's moved, but the value of inco 1 and 2 is empty. Just double click if you want to see what is the actual data. So you can double click, it will take you to the structure tab, because it has only one record at a time. It holds only one record at a time. So these are the things are filled, but inco 1 and 2 is not filled. So I'm filling it. So press F5 and you can see the value. Yes, it's filled, and press F5 and again it's filled. I think yes, this is character 3 and 28. That is the reason. Sorry, it's my fault. So I'm just filling INC1 and INCO 2, and I'm going to modify my internal table. As I mentioned, we should not use this. Just for a simple example, I used it. Mostly go with field symbols. Excuse me. And this is one major area. We have seen psi index, right? Psi index is used for the loop, which does not map with any data, any content. It's just a loop. Do 100 times, do n times, do one time. It's just running based on the static number of times only. But here loop is related or mapped with the data content. How many data available that much time, this loop will execute. So whenever there is a loop is executed, site tab x will fill. Okay, not index. Index will only fill for the static number of loops, example do, and the loop it will fill only by site tab index, meaning which number of record, the record number index of the values. This is going to be used very much. Probably I can show you in some other example as well. So now I'm going to modify my pivot details. So you can see till is not executed, line number 14. Just double click and where is go 1 and 2? Okay, I can show you here, right? INC1, it's where it is, where it is. Okay, it's inserted here and I want INC2. Yes, I think it's got inserted into. So now if I press F5, okay, this is one option. If you want to see live, yes, it's getting updated. So before pressing F5, you just know 14th line is executed. So don't execute it. Just go IT pivot tabs and press F5 single record. Okay, sorry, single step. So it's getting updated. I'm going to press F5 continuously. So whenever the line number 14, the modify statement is getting executed, the particular record is getting updated using the modify statement. Okay. So this for this also this insert column is to be used because we want to exactly know what data is updated in this column in this particular field. So we need that is also to be used in this option insert column. Okay. So hope this might be quite interesting. So once you have already used, it's fine. If not, make use of these options whenever you're going the debugging. So thank you so much for your time. So we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.